watching. Today's video is going to be a sort of fresh, glowy spring makeup tutorial. I'm super into like warmer spring, summer makeup right now. Usually I'm not a huge fan. I tend to be more of like a fall makeup kind of girl, but I don't know. Spring is in the air. Well, technically, snow mold is in the air. I mean, there's still snow outside on the ground, but I'm just going to ignore that and pretend instead that the sun is shining and that birds are chirping. My body is ready for spring. I've even got like spring shit behind me. I also wanted to do this tutorial using a few new products that have launched that I am super excited about. So the star of the show is definitely the new Tarte highlighting palette. This is the Skin Twinkle palette, which launched in their Rainforest of the Sea Spring Summer collection. The textures are super smooth, super pigmented. I mean, do you see that? I also wanted to use the brand new Lancome Juicy Shakers. So these are sort of a gloss and oil hybrid. And in keeping up with the cushion trend, it does come with a cushion applicator. Oh my god. They are freaking amazing. Couple other new products. The brand new Lancome Absolute Precious Cells Lip Balm. It is quite possibly the best lip balm I've ever used in my life. So if you'd like to see how I use these products and how I created this makeup look, please keep watching. Starting off, I'm applying that Lancome lip balm to my lips just to make sure they are really nice and smooth and hydrated. And it also gives this a chance to soak in and do its job while I'm doing the rest of my makeup so that my lips will be nice and prepped. Then I'm of course putting my hair back, and I'm going in with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot as my base for my eyeshadow today. First, I'm going to apply it with my fingertips just to warm up the product as mine is drying out a little bit, and then I'm just going to blend it out with a flat brush. You can use any sort of like concealer brush or anything like that. Then taking the gorgeous Morphe 35O palette, which has a beautiful range of warm shades, I'm going to go in first with more of a transition shade. So with this shade here on a fluffy blending brush, this one is by Sigma. It's really nice for getting in that crease area. I've used this in like all my previous videos. Then I'm taking this slightly darker brown on more of a tapered blending brush, just a little bit more precise, and I'm going to be focusing this on the outermost corner. Then with the Morphe M507 brush, I believe this is, I'm going in with this dark brown mixed in with this slightly more reddish tone brown, and I'm applying that to the outermost part of my eye just to add a little bit more definition, kind of carve out my eye shape. I'm taking the L'Oreal Infallible Eyeshadow in Amber Rush. It's kind of like a pressed pigment texture. It's gorgeous, so I prefer to apply these with my fingertips first and then build up as needed. Honestly, your fingers work the best with this type of formula. It really just picks up the product and deposits it the best as possible. Then I'm going in with this slightly more kind of brighter corally shade, and on a flat, dense brush, I'm going to be applying this to the outer half. Kind of blending it in with the Amber Rush shade that we used before. And then I'm just going to redefine some of that darker shading. I like to apply a little shade, just helps make your colors look a lot more blended. And then I'm just touching up that crease area a little bit and just blending them together. For liner, I'm going to be using this really nice, precise, skinny pencil. This one's by Maybelline, and it's great for applying a soft amount of liner if you don't want to be wearing too much. It's really nice and fine pointed, so it's very easy to get really close to your lash line. And I'm using a brown just for a little bit more of a softer kind of sultry look, if you will. And I'm just going to be kind of smudging this along my lash line. Applying little bits at a time, but you don't have to be too precise with it because we are going to be blending it out with a brush. So then I'm just going to take an angled brush, any like eyeliner or brow brush will do, and I'm just going to be softly smudging this line out just to kind of diffuse it and make it a little bit softer. Then I decided I wanted it to be a little bit warmer and a little bit more intense, so I'm taking this slightly darker shimmery coral shade just on the outer half of my eye. Then going in with the gorgeous soft gold eyeshadow from Anastasia, I'm going to be using that as my inner corner and brow bone highlight. So I'm just applying a touch of that to my kind of tear duct area, right underneath my brows. And then I am curling my eyelashes. This is a Revlon eyelash curler. My eyelashes are super straight, so I have to do this step. And then I'm going to be taking the brand new Benefit They're Real Lash Primer, and I really like this one because it's tinted brown, so it doesn't leave any like white flakes or anything like that on your lashes. And I'm going to be wiggling that into my eyelashes, just kind of slowly building them up. It adds a little bit more drama. before going in with my favorite mascara of all time. This is the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. Honestly, it's the only thing that keeps my lashes lifted and kind of curled all day long. It looks like I'm painfully pulling my eye. Honestly, I'm not. I don't even notice when I do that, but yeah. Then taking that same Maybelline eyeliner, I decided to tightline my top and bottom waterline. So applying this very gently. To prep my skin for foundation, I'm using this Clarins Instant Smooth Perfecting Touch. It's kind of like a pore smoother. Honestly, it's one of the only ones I can use that doesn't make me dehydrated or flaky, but I am just applying this very, very sparingly to my nose and my cheek area, as that's where I have the most enlarged pores. For foundation, I'm using a mixture of these two here. The Becca one gives me a really nice glow, but it's not quite enough coverage, so I like to mix it with the Vichy Derma Blend just to help conceal kind of my pigmentation, acne scarring, all that stuff. I'm applying this first with a MAC 130 brush, just kind of stippling it onto my skin, then warming it in a little bit with my fingers. Then I'm taking a damp Real Techniques sponge, but I am spraying it with a little bit of this Pure Minerals Miracle Mist. It gives a really, really nice finish and helps blend the product in. This just gives me a much more smoothed, kind of blended, more natural looking foundation. So I like to work on the cheek area first before moving on to my nose and my forehead. And I was really feeling the glow that this foundation was giving me. To combat my extremely dark circles, I'm using the NYX Dark Circle Concealer in the shade number 3 just to cancel out that under eye darkness before going in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This is my favorite, especially if you have really dry under eyes like I do. So I'm going to be applying this pretty liberally. I really want to brighten up my skin and my under eye area. So I apply that, let it sit for a few seconds, and then tap it in first with my fingers before going in with that Real Techniques sponge. Warming the product in with your fingers really helps blend under eye concealer if you do have dark or kind of crepey under eyes. Love to spray the sponge with the Miracle Mist, especially for the under eye areas. It just really gives some extra hydration. Also applying a little bit to my cupid's bow and forehead just for some extra highlighting. And of course, blending it out. To set my under eyes, I'm actually going to be using the middle shade from this palette. So it's a very matte, very thin, sort of like yellow tone powder. A lot of people hated it, but I actually think it's really good for setting your under eyes because it doesn't apply a ton of product. It just lightly sets without looking too heavy. For my layered highlight, I'm first going to be using the Smashbox Halo Highlighting Wand. This was discontinued, but they announced recently that they are going to be bringing it back, which I'm so happy because it's honestly one of my favorites. So easy, you just swipe it on and then lightly blend it out with your finger. It looks really natural, really healthy, and it gives a gorgeous sheen to your skin. Applying that mostly to my cheekbones, a little bit to my cupid's bow. Then I'm going in with the new Benefit Do the Hula. This is a liquid bronzer. So I apply it first to the back of my hand and then pick up the product with this Real Techniques brush. Something that's kind of dense but still a little bit softer and fluffier is really great for blending this out. So I'm just going to be using this to warm up my skin, applying it to the sides of my forehead, blending it out. And then I'm not really going to contour today, but I am going to give a little bit of warmth and definition to my face with the same product, same brush. It's a little warm to contour with, but just to give myself kind of a healthy glow and some warmth. I actually am really liking this, and it smells really good. So I bring it along my forehead, the sides of my cheeks, and down my neck. To set certain areas of my face, I love to use this powder. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. It looks really natural and healthy, and because I did use a foundation that's a little bit darker, I'm going to be using the shade Medium. I mostly just set my nose and cheek area because that's where I do like contouring, blush, stuff like that. Now for my favorite part of this entire video, I'm going back in with that Tarte highlighting palette and I'm mixing the two shimmery shades, so Moonlight and Sunlight. This is with the Liz Wautier Multifunction Powder Brush. It's just a big fan brush. And as you can see, I was extremely enjoying the highlight. You know, if you think you've applied enough highlight, just keep going. Blind the haters with it. It gives such a gorgeous, healthy glow to the skin. I am obsessed with it. For blush, I'm using the Becca Mineral Blush in Flower Child. Jaclyn Hill raved about this blush, and to be honest, that's why I bought it. It's a really pretty sort of peachy pink with gold shimmer, and I'm using the Morphe E4 brush, another Jaclyn Hill recommendation, to lightly kind of sweep this on my cheek area. And then I just like to kind of blend everything together so it doesn't look too intense, because I am going for more of a softer look with this. And then I'm just taking this Real Techniques brush and that same middle shade from the Tarte palette, and I'm actually just going to use that to clean up my blush, sort of like the Lazy Girls Baking. Then I'm going in with the dark shimmery sparkly shade from that Morphe palette on an angled brush, and I'm just going to use this to lightly smoke out my lower lash line. Now that the lip balm has been sinking in, I just like to lightly dab off the excess before going in with lip liner, and I'm going to be using the soft coral lip liner from Liz Wautier. It's just slightly brighter than my own lip color, so it's just going to help kind of enhance my lip shape because my lips are extremely uneven and very frustrating to work with otherwise. So I just fill in my top and my bottom a little bit, blend it out. And then I'm going in with my new favorite lip product. This is the Lancome Juicy Shaker. These are brand new. This is in the shade Apricot. Lancome actually recommends that you hold it upside down when you shake it. It just better helps mix the pigment and the natural oils. These are really cool because they come with a cushion applicator, so then I just lightly dab it on my lips. Looks very natural, very healthy. It's a gloss, but one that isn't sticky. Then I'm just going to set my face with this Pure Miracle Mist, and that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.